What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and watching and listening to my bullshit. I appreciate your appreciation, and we're gonna talk about how to deal with them haters. How do you deal with them haters? Because, you know, I really want to share myself with the world, but I'm scared of what people are gonna say. You know, the haters, man. I get that question a lot. How do you deal with the haters, bro? How do you deal with the negative comments? How do you deal with all that? And yeah, like, that's stopping a lot of people from being themselves in the world, sharing their gift, and just being themselves, right? With people out there, you know, your relationships with the human species. It's compromised. It's highly compromised when you are always scared how you're going to be perceived, and mostly you're really scared of is rejection and negative criticism. So how do you deal with that? Good question. You asked the right guy. Because especially as of late, I've been getting a lot of fucking negative criticism over my psychedelic videos and the change that I've been having on YouTube. Lots and lots and lots of it. Which made me have to revisit this topic, because I thought, all right, you know what, Saeed, you know how to deal with negativity and all. Think again, pal. Think again. When you get a lot of it, you start to question yourself a little bit. And I had one comment on the fitness channel, because a lot of people now who know me from fitness are tripping balls over the fact that I'm making psychedelic videos and this completely, well, this guy lost his mind, blah, blah. And like, you're losing it. So one of the comments, which is becoming a little bit of a regular thing as of late, some guy left me a comment saying, you know, the personal development stuff you're doing, you know, you're not good at it, and you should just stick to the only good thing you're good at, which is fitness. And you should just stop sharing the fact that you're a failure with the rest of the world. Okay? So so that was the comment. That was exactly how the comment was. You know, almost word for word. I just maybe don't have the right order. But he said you shouldn't share the fact that you're a failure with the rest of the world. Stick to the only, and with caps, right? Stick to the only good thing you're good at, which is fitness. So then I look a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie, you know, because I've been receiving these comments more and more lately, because I'm changing my content. I'm a different person than I was when I started the fitness thing. Different ideas, different everything. So I'm changing it. I don't give a fuck, right? You gotta be authentic. You gotta be true to the moment. So the comment gets to me. Not gonna lie to you guys, you know. I'm not immune from this. Yes, I deal with it pretty, you know, regularly kind of thing. But as of late, you know, you get more than one comment like that, it can start to fuck with your head a little bit. So it fucked with my head a little bit, and I was like sleep deprived that day, and, you know, just not a good day overall. And then I got fucking pissed, right? But I got pissed. Then I'm like, you know what, I just gotta go for a walk or something here, you know, I'm not feeling good. And the comment just sort of, it wasn't because of the comment alone, but because, you know, it's sort of become a recurring thing, and this one was a pretty harsh one. Then I woke up the next day, I was much better, got my sleep, and got on the microdose, took the cold shower, and then I thought about this very objectively. I'm like, wait a minute, and I know this in my heart of hearts, but, you know, sometimes you forget. I looked at this a little bit more objectively. I said, okay, this person is simply troubled inside. And this is how he speaks to himself on a daily basis. Because you got to remember something. Each one of us, we're individuated unit of consciousness. We are unique, subjective manifestations of the universe. And within this incarnation, within this subjective experience, within this character spawn, in this video game, you're with this character 24/7. You're in the mind of this character 24/7. You are experiencing what this character is experiencing 24/7. You're with your thoughts, with your mind 24/7. And then you share that with the world. Not a whole lot, you know, 24 hours a day you're with yourself. Even when you're sleeping, those are your thoughts, those are your dreams. This is your consciousness, your soul traveling to other dimensions. So you're with yourself 24/7. Now hold on a second. If a person leaves me a comment like that, saying you should only stick to the good thing you're good at, which is, you know, fitness. And you're a failure, stop sharing your failure with the world. Then I know that's how he talks to himself. You know, I'm looking at it very objectively here. I'm like, okay, hold on. This person speaks to themselves like that. This is the running tape in them, because probably while growing up, I mean, from the guy's name who left me the comment, it's a Middle Eastern name. I'm very well aware of how Middle Eastern parents are and the whole culture. This person probably grew up with very critical parents of him. 100%. I can, you know what? I will make the assumption and I will take a bullet for it. His parents were very critical of himself, of their son, right? And he became critical of himself. Guarantee you, it's a Middle Eastern name too. I know how it is. Middle Eastern parents, it's a culture. They're very critical of their kids. They were probably very critical of him growing up. And so he heard that tape a lot in his head, like, oh, you either do this or you're going to be a failure. Maybe his parents, I don't know, told him something like, if you don't become this, you're going to be a failure. So now this is his worldview. This is his subjective reality. This is how he looks at the world around him. And this is how he's shaping the world around him. And so when he talks to other people, he's simply sharing the content of his mind. He's sharing the content of his life. He's sharing his soul, his existence with the rest of the world. And he's broadcasting. Every time we talk to people, we broadcast to people how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about the world around us. So, when I read this comment again, not from, you know, I read it more from an objective point of view, put myself in a good state of consciousness, and I said, this is bothering you, Saeed. You know, you've been getting a lot of comments like that lately, and you're really good at dealing with criticism, but lately I'm feeling it a little bit. It's getting to you. The comments are getting to you a little bit, and it's because you have a radical change on your channel, on the way you're going, and you're seeing a lot of the old people that knew the old Saeed don't like this new Saeed, and you're getting a lot of criticism for it. It's starting to get to you a little bit. But I looked at it more objectively, microdosed, LSD, my favorite thing, and took a cold shower, meditated, and I'm like, you know, objectively, looking at an alien's point of view, what's going on is this person and all the other people that are leaving comments like this, it's just this one happened to be the harshest. Hold on, that's how they think with themselves. So actually, I had like a surge of compassion. I had a surge of compassion for this person because I'm like, I realized this, the realization came to me that this guy's had a shitty life. He probably had really shitty parents. He was, you know, he was brought up with shitty ideas about himself, about the world, about failure, and about success, and about the world, about himself, right? And he's broadcasting that miserable existence. If you're going around calling people failure, and you're going around calling people, like, telling people, stick to the only good thing you're good at, and you're calling people failure, and you're calling people names and stuff, then you're calling yourself names. You're broadcasting to the world. This is how I talk to myself. I look at myself. This is probably how he talks to himself. He probably, let's say he's studying, I don't know, something. You know, let's say he's studying law, okay? Maybe his parents told him, this is just an example. Maybe his parents told him, if you don't be a lawyer, you're going to be a failure. So now he's doing that. He's studying law. And to him, right, to him, he's doing the right thing. He's not a failure, he's a success. So then he looks at the world around him to validate his existence and his decisions, right? And looks and says, oh, this person is doing something different than what he was doing previously. So I'm going to criticize the shit out of him so I feel better about myself because secretly I want to do something else. But I feel like I could be a failure if I do something else. See, you're projecting. We're projecting all the time. When we talk to people, we're projecting our psyche to them. We're projecting our existence to them. We're projecting our thoughts about ourselves to them and our thoughts about the world to them. The world's your mirror. The world is your mirror. The world is your mirror. This is so fucking true. This is so true. So recognize that your haters are just really troubled souls who are having a shitty incarnation at the moment. Now, I hope this incarnation can get better for them. This is my mission on this channel, and my mission in life is to raise the consciousness, the awareness of the planet as a whole, so that troubled souls, troubled people who are having shitty incarnations. And believe me, I had a shitty incarnation for a long time. I grew up with those kind of parents that would criticize the shit out of you and call you failure and all of that. I grew up in an environment, in a country, that was the culture there. It was a culture of shitting on everyone else. So I know, that's the thing. I've been that guy. I've been that hater. Many times I've been that hater. I've been that hater. Oh, I used to fucking, back in the day, I used to go on YouTube and leave the nastiest comments to people. I was that fucking guy. I swear to God, I was. And maybe that's karma coming back to me right now, you know? But just recognize that. Recognize this is the hater. The hater it's not personal. It's not personal. The hater is not attacking you. The hater is attacking themselves. And they're looking to justify their own existence, their own inability to take some control and act with certain, from their core, right? They're unable to do that right now. For whatever reason, mostly social inhibitions, society, they're scared of what society thinks of them. They have ideas about the world, about success and failure that they've been told since growing up. They want to validate their own misery, their own shortcomings. And the way they validate that is by looking at other people that are doing the difficult thing. I mean, I do the difficult thing always by following my heart. It's difficult to have 100,000 subscribers that subscribe to you because they're in fitness and say, by the way, guys, I'm not doing that shit anymore and this is my other channel. I mean, really, I post on the other channel just to get people here. Really, like, that's what I do it. In a way, I turned my back on 100,000 people that had subscribed because of fitness content, you know? And I went, actually, not just went somewhere different, I went somewhere fucking controversial as fuck. Psychedelics, illegal drugs, illegal psychoactive drugs. That's very fucking controversial, right? So not only did I go against that, but I went somewhere very controversial. So there's a backlash there. I was expecting the backlash, but again, sometimes it gets to your head. But then I took a fucking step back and I realized, no, hold on. You're taking it personally here. This is your own shortcoming of taking it personally. Because these people are troubled. They're troubled. The haters are troubled. They hate themselves. They hate the world. They hate their existence. They hate their incarnation. They hate their spawn. They hate their lives. Why would anybody that loves their life tell you you're a failure and stick to this and try to belittle you? Doesn't make sense, right? If somebody loves themselves, talk positive to themselves, and loves who they are and loves life, is in love with life, you would broadcast the exact same things out there. You guys know I always broadcast in these videos how much I love you and appreciate you, and I think you're all amazing because I think I'm fucking amazing. I love myself. You know, I tell myself I can't get enough of myself. I love myself. I talk very positively to myself. I know I'm amazing. I'm always telling myself I'm amazing. I'm always telling myself I love you. And by default, the words that I'm speaking to myself, they just come out here. So what I'm broadcasting in these videos is how I think of myself, how I think of myself, what do I think about my existence, and what do I think about the world, and what do I think about people. This is what I'm broadcasting. Really, we're broadcasting, we're walking. So this is, pay attention when people talk. Pay close attention when people talk, okay? Pay close attention because you will get to know how they think about themselves. You will get to know how they talk to themselves just from like a minute of conversation with them. You'll know this person thinks highly of themselves. This person thinks lower of themselves. You know, I have a friend who every time I tell him, bro, I'm gonna do this and this, he says, hopefully. And then we talked about it a few days ago. He's had some revelations as of late. And I told him, oh, by the way, bro, I'm writing a book and blah, 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 and this. He's like, and he looks at me, he's like, I'm like, yeah, man, watch, I'm gonna be big in like a year or so. He's like, looks at me, he's like, hopefully. Then he takes a second back and he says, no, you know what? I'm not gonna say this anymore. You will. Because he's like, I realized I had a lot of self-limiting beliefs on myself, and this is how I would talk to myself and always say, hopefully, wishful thinking. And so I was broadcasting it to the world, and I was telling you every time you told me about an idea you have, I always told you hopefully, because that's how I talk to myself. And he realized it, right? This was, you know, he's been having a lot of realizations as of late, and he's like, he took a second back. He's like, no, bro, not hopefully. You will. And I was like, that's my fucking boy. You know, he's, again, you broadcasting. So you be careful, be impeccable with your word. Be aware of what you're saying to people, how you treat people, because that's your mirror. You and them, the separation is an illusion. The whole point of this game is to build relationships with yourself. When you're building a relationship with someone, that's you. That's you in another incarnation, in another spawn, but that is you. That is you. It's the same fucking shit. We call it love, we call it divine, cosmic love, whatever the fuck, the force. It's the same thing. And when you talk to other people, you're talking to yourself. And when you tell them something, you're telling that to yourself. You're broadcasting. So immediately I was like, this guy, he broadcasted to me how he feels. I think I left him a comment. I told him, you just broadcasted to me how you feel. Good luck in your life, bro. Good fucking luck, Tough incarnation. Tough luck, man. Hopefully things get better for you. So once you start to really realize that and stop taking it personally, and this requires you to, again, step out of that ego space for a little bit before you come back and do it again. And realize these things and then say, okay, you know what? Actually, probably the best response for my haters is compassion. Really, the best response for my haters is compassion. Compassion. Hopefully things get better for them. My idea of the world is a world where love is the dominant vibration. Because if love is the dominant vibration, everybody loved themselves and loved their life, then there'll be very little of this. Very little of these negative comments and so-called haters. Everybody would be supporting each other to become their most authentic, true self. So yeah, I think that's how you deal with haters. You deal with haters by first acknowledging. Don't fucking bullshit yourself. Acknowledge, fuck, man, this guy made me feel like shit. This comment made me feel like shit. You know what? These people are making me feel like shit. And you get a little pissed. I got a little pissed, man, right? I got a little fucking pissed because it wasn't just the one comment. It was a bunch of them, right? And that one, with the harshness of it, sort of triggered me, right? I got fucking pissed. I left my house, went for a walk. I woke up the next morning in the shower, fucking screamed, I was a bit frustrated with what's going on. And the backlash, right? And you acknowledge it, but then you're, hold on. What's really going on here? Let me look at this objectively as if I'm not in the picture, right? As if I'm not in the picture. Let me not take it personally. Leave me out. Just remove me out of the picture here. What's going on here? What is actually happening? What is the reality? What's going on? And then you realize, well, this person is broadcasting their inner demons and angels on you, depending on what is dominated by. If he's dominated by demons, he's gonna broadcast his inner demons to the world. And if he's dominated by angels, he's gonna broadcast his angels to the world, right? And then you realize, you know what? Fuck, I got compassion for you, bro, because I'm you, you're me, and you're having a really shitty incarnation. And guess what? I've had a shitty incarnation for what seemed to be 23 years of my life. The first 23 years of my life. Hopefully things get better for you. I hope so, I saw the light. Hopefully you see the light too. And that's really, when you think about it, objectively, that's the most appropriate response for your haters. Compassion. But we're not going to get there directly. First, we're going to get pissed, acknowledge it. Really think about it. Think about what's going on here. And once we really deeply understand it and realize it, then we can say, this person deserves compassion. That's it. God bless you all, guys. I love every single one of you. But don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.